Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another one of these videos where I do 4 different looks with 4 different palettes. We have some new indie palettes in the house. I like to do these when I've collected quite a few new indie palettes, and I basically just do swatches and looks with all of these and just show you like a variety of indie palettes all packed into one neat little present in one video. So what I'm having on right now is look number 4 with the Sun and the Sea palette. Look number 1 is going to be with Fantasy Cosmetics as Fighter palette. Both of these palettes, as you're seeing this video, well, as it's going live, they're not available yet. I will put some info down below. This one is launching tomorrow and this one is launching on the 24th. Like I said, all the info will be in the description box with launch times, where you'll be able to find them. I'll also put some timestamps so we can jump in between the different looks and swatches, because I'll start with showing some swatches and then I'll show you a look and then we'll just jump to the next palette. I like doing these videos, like I said, when I've collected usually 4 indie palettes that are somewhat new, just to show you like an array of what's new on the indie market altogether. The second one, this is 2 palettes, but like I'm doing one look with each. It's the Glamlite and Hershey collab round number 2. And I'm also showing you the highlighters and the lip products when we're coming to those if you were interested in this collab. With actually all 3 of these brands, all 4 of these palettes, all of these were sent to me as PR. This video is not sponsored by any of these brands, but you can use my code Angelica at all of these brands if you were interested in them and if you wanted to get a discount when you're shopping. And if you don't want to use my code, use somebody's code. Just use somebody's code so you can get a little bit of a discount. And if you don't want to shop, this is not a shop with me kind of a video. This video can serve as just a 4 looks for future inspiration, of course, and that's why I leave some timestamps so that you can come back and just jump back and forth if there's a look that you want to like come back and look at and maybe try and recreate. But let's dive into the looks. The first palette that I'm gonna play with is the Fighter palette by Fantasy Cosmetica. I don't know exactly when this video is going up because my planning has been all over the place, but like I said, I will put all the info about these palettes and all of this down in the description box. This might have released as you're watching this video, or it's about to release, so check the description box because I know that it is releasing like soon and I don't know when this is going up. But I kind of want to do, since this is like a mix of like cool tones and warm tones, I kind of want to do like a little bit of a mixy mix. I feel like the obvious choice would be this like duochrome. You see there's like a blue like duochrome up here. I think I'm gonna start with this one, the Warrior, and I'm gonna do that in the outer corner. I'm gonna blend it out a little bit with this brown, but then I'm gonna use the yellow in the inner part and we'll see what is possible. So I'm starting with the Warrior, which is the dark brown. Oh my god, I love that palette that they had before, the Rogue one. That was my palette like favorite so far from Fantasy Cosmetica. And even though like I am not the person that reaches for neutrals, I was gonna say on the daily, but not even on the weekly, I do think that it is such a good idea for a brand to have at least one really good neutral palette. And honestly, I feel like making the Warrior palette and neutral palette is so smart. I mean, even in World of Warcraft, their color is brown. Literally, warriors are brown. So I don't think that that's a bad idea at all. We've actually been playing the new Diablo, me and my husband. We didn't play it at launch because we didn't have time, but I actually bought it for the both of us. It's like a little anniversary gift because we just celebrated 3 years as married. The date was when I was in Vegas, but we celebrated, so we've been out having dinner together and then we've been playing Diablo together. And I usually am always a barbarian in Diablo, but I actually decided to play a necromancer this time. It's actually my first time playing that and I have been enjoying it a lot. Have you been playing the new Diablo? I will say, both me and my husband have said several times during playing, wow, this is really well made. Like, the cutscenes are so well made and like the storyline, per usual, like the music and the voice actors of Diablo are always like top notch, but also just like how the environments look and how just believable everything looks and how you move, and it's just very, very, I don't want to say pretty because it's not pretty. It's crunchy, it's cringy, it's bloody, it's gory, but it is very well made, and I'm very impressed, and I am so far very much enjoying playing the Necromancer. Okay, so that looks really nice, and with the same brush I'm gonna do the Marshall, which is the other brown, and I'm just gonna see if I can just blend that on the edge because I don't want to use the gray. You could definitely use the gray for this one, but I'm not a person who loves grays on me. I don't feel like they look the best on me because I don't have a cool undertone, and I just, you know, everybody likes different things. I feel like I need to just tighten my lid a bit so I can blend this properly because these are very, very pigmented. I think that looks really, really nice. Huh? I'm gonna blend a little bit more on the edge there. I'm using my own brushes, by the way. This is my own beauty brand. This is Cinch Beauty, and I'm using my own brushes. I'm gonna take just a clean brush, and I'm just gonna buff on this edge a little bit to just avoid using that lightest color that is a gray. But of course, you could use the gray here if you don't mind using a cool tone. Okay, so I did the same thing under my eyes as well, just so it is around my outer corner in my crease, and you can see I have nothing in my inner part here. And I'm gonna be using this, that's called Valor, that color, the yellowy one. Someone was saying that this one looked very similar to the Mandalorian palette that Colourpop did. There are definitely some similarities in the mattes, but none in the shimmers, I would say. They're very, very different in the shimmers because these ones are sparklier. I can see there's like different colored sparkles in there and stuff like that. So I definitely think also this one doesn't have any of those like more peachy browns that the Mandalorian has. But yeah, being a cool tone neutral palette with a pop of mustard, with that concept, yes. But I don't know if you really look at the palettes, if there's any similarities beyond the mustard and like the dark brown. But I definitely think that as a core concept, there are similarities. So I'm gonna do the yellow in here so that it's like brown going into the yellow, and I'm gonna do the same on the inner part too. It would be so nice with like Rebirth from Hella right now in the inner corner. I would have loved that. I might actually even bring that out. Like I might finish the look without it and show you and then just add it at the very end because I feel like that would be incredible. And when my husband is coming home from work today, I'm actually filming this in the afternoon, we are going grocery shopping. This is an appropriate look for that, right? So I think that that looks really nice. So I want to do a little bit of like all kinds of stuff. So I think we're gonna start a little bit with this one in the outer part of the lid, like outer middle. I don't put it out here. I don't want to have shimmers out here. I don't like that on me. I don't like the look of shimmers all the way to the end of lid on practically anyone. There's very few and far between that I think that looks good. So I try to avoid, I only put my shimmers out to here, but I'm gonna put the dark shimmer, and then I think I might put this shimmer, the cool toned, and then I wonder, do I want to do the blue or do I want to do the copper? But like this would be so cool though, right? Yeah, because it has a warm base and then this silvery blue, that would be so cool with the silver. This one is a really nice dimensional copper, and honestly it looks really cute. There's like violet, blue, pink shimmer in here. What an interesting copper. But yeah, I think we're gonna do this one for this look. So this is the darkest shimmer, and I'm using an EO1, and I'm gonna put it, like I said, out here. Yeah, that is definitely the look I'm looking for. The look I'm looking for. This is the droid I'm looking for. But I did spray this, by the way, because I didn't want to get any fallout and because I knew I wanted to be a little bit more precise. So I'm putting this, and I'm putting it a little bit bigger than it's gonna be once I end up being done with this look, but yeah, something like this. So now I want to do the one that's called Blade, which is this like silvery thingamajig over here. Ooh, these pick up really nice, you guys. I am so far very impressed with the quality. I would say so far the quality is the same as the Rogue palette. So if you were eyeing that one, but you were like, this is a color story that I am quite literally never gonna use. Because it was a very like blue, purple, grungy, jewel tone palette. Look at that. This is very much more on the neutral leaning side. So this might be more a palette for you if you wanted to try out Fantasy Cosmetica. These are delightful. So yeah, I'm just doing a little bit more here, like that. And then I'm just gonna clean off my brush. I just have a Sigma color switch here next to me. And then I'm taking Glory, which is that duochrome, and I'm gonna spray that as well. And we are gonna put that next to it. Wow. That is so pretty. I really, really like how that is looking. Should I do... Let me see if I can do a little bit of that. Just the Glory one. Just the last one that we did. I'm doing that on the side. You can see I'm on the side of the E01. And I'm going to see if I can just put that here. In the little bit in the... And not the inner corner, but like the inner part of the lower lash line. That looks so pretty. Okay, let me actually finish this up. I'm actually going to put... I have this one here. I'm actually going to just show you how it looks. I'm going to put this. This is from Glossier. It's an ochre. I'm going to put that in my waterline. And then I'm going to do some mascara. And then I can show you how this looks before I do the inner corner highlight. Because, I mean, technically, you could leave this look right like this. Or you can use this one as a shimmery inner corner highlight. But I prefer a matte inner corner highlight on me. And it's mainly because I have this hood that's starting here. You can see this here. Yeah. H. But that looks really interesting, but still neutral. So this is pretty much the finished eye look. This is what it would look like if I didn't put an inner corner highlight. But I'm just going to do a little bit of Rebirth. My pastel yellow that I had in my Hella palette with Oden's eye. So beautiful. Unfortunately, this one came and went. It's been discontinued. This is, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is my favorite project. I love the Hella palette. I've gotten so much use out of this palette. The color story is so me. I've had so much fun with this one, but yeah, that looks really, really pretty. And honestly, you might even be able to do something slightly similar, not a silver, with the Hella palette if you have that one at home. But I gotta say, the quality of this palette, I'm very impressed. Fantasy Cosmetica, they're really onto something. Let us zoom out and just have a little bit of a Monet look at this. So this is the finished look, and I gotta say, I am very, very impressed, not only with how this palette was behaving, it was just as good quality as the Rogue palette, but also at how interesting this neutral look turned out, because I am really, really enjoying this, and I will be rocking this at my local HIB in a couple of hours. Thank you very much. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this look. Now let's get into look number 2. dedicated videos on the Glamlite collections, but this one is more neutral, or at least I thought so. We're gonna start with the milk chocolate one. This one is more neutral, so I thought I'd include it in a video like this because I feel like this is the neutral edition. I probably said that in the beginning. So this is the eyeshadow palette, but there is also some lippies. That's why, oh my lord, that's why I don't have a lippy and I don't have any cheek products, because this one is the Face and Body Bronzer. You saw the swatches. Tell me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Listen, let me know in the comments. Is this a bronzer? Like, this is so extremely highlighty. I'm like... So, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my... Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my favorite bronzer of the moment. Do you see the dent in this cream? This is the Give Beauty. So I'm actually only going to be using the powder bronzer of this one. And I'm just going to apply a little bit just to have something, because I doubt that this is going to appear like a bronzer on me. Sometimes a bronzer can be glowy, but I don't think that this will have, based on me already swatching this collection, I don't think that this will have a deep enough base for this to like work on me. But this one has a lot of pigment to it, so I'll just use a little bit of this on the perimeter over here. Also because of this foundation, as you can tell, that I am so tan right now from being by the pool that this foundation is also, it's a little bit too light for me. I don't really have a foundation in my collection that matches me when I'm at my tannest, because normally when I self-tan during the winter half of the year, and I never self-tan myself as deep as I get during the summer when I'm actually like outdoors. So when I am at my most tan during the summer, I like really don't have a foundation that matches me. It's a problem. But I love being by the pool so much that I also don't want to stop doing it, because like at the end of the day, makeup is not everything and there's always bronzer. So I'm gonna use a brush like this because I really don't think that this is like a bronzer, and I'm gonna use this goldy shade. And we're gonna see. Like, this isn't a bronzer. I don't understand why it says Face and Body Bronzer. I think it should have said Face and Body Glow, because there's nothing wrong with the product. I will say it is, you can see, it is pretty sparkly. So if you don't like a sparkly face, maybe this is more of a like body. Maybe I should put a little bit on my, because I am a little bronze now. Maybe that would look nice. Look at me. That's actually kind of nice on the body. It looks a little sparkly, but actually I kind of like it. But yeah, on the face, it is a little sparkly, and I really, really, really do not understand the bronzer part. It would have been nice if this was a bronzer duo, but it's honestly, it's not. So the lip products, you also saw the swatches of those. I'm just gonna apply all of these, honestly. I'll do the lip liner and the lipstick in this set is the same color. Glamlite usually does not the twist up lip pencils, they do the ones you have to sharpen. This one is really nice. I kind of like a lip liner that you sharpen, because I feel like usually those are the perfect amount of creaminess, if it's a good formula, of course. And I think the Glamlite formula was really good, so that it doesn't become too creamy, because a lip liner is there to keep your lipstick and to keep your lip gloss inside of your lips. And if it's just a glorified lipstick in a slim packaging, it doesn't really do that. It needs to be something that isn't too creamy. I don't think that this is though, but I think that personally I might prefer the ones that you sharpen yourself. I know it is said that these are supposed to smell like chocolate. I don't think this one does, but I think that maybe the gloss does, because I feel like I smelled it. Yeah, the gloss smells like chocolate, but the other ones do not. Ooh. Okay, that's really nice. I feel like I'm doing that trend, the TikTok trend, latte makeup. And also, is that not stupid? Now we're like at the part where brown makeup is getting a new name, and all of a sudden people are like, oh my god, it's new. It's brown makeup. Everybody calm down. That lip color is really beautiful. Do these smell? Because they're supposed to smell. This one does not smell. This one does not smell either. Did I get it on my nose? The lip gloss smells like chocolate. So let's jump into some eyeshadows. When I swatched this, let's swatch this one first. I swatched the other one after. I was a little bit surprised at how similar these two swatched and how similar these two swatched. And I was like, what was the reason? So I don't 100% understand what that is all about, but I think what we're gonna use is this one, and this one, and keep it a little bit in the milky chocolate, I don't know, space, route, area code. I'm gonna start with the middle brown and then I'll move into the lighter brown, because I feel like this middle brown is gonna be the one that's like the most prominent in the look. Oh my god. I'm trying to use up this Juvia's Place primer, but you know when you're using different primers, you keep forgetting how the different primers like work and behave, and you keep switching in between them. I really like the Juvia's Place one though. I think it's a really good primer, but it's a little bit more on the creamy side. If you like using concealer as a primer, but you don't think it's giving you the primer effect, like you don't think it's helping with creasing, helping with longevity, definitely try out the Juvia's Place one, because working with the Juvia's Place primer is like working on top of a concealer. It's the same kind of a feeling. It just helps with like creasing and longevity and stuff like that as well. I'm literally going to be using the lighter color, and I am going to be putting that on the edge, and I'm going to be blending this color. I'm just using a smaller brush now. I want to do a really like a smoky, I don't know if that's the latte makeup. Is it smoky or is it just like brown? This is me showing that I am not keeping up with the TikTok trends. Maybe I should be. Maybe I should be. My TikTok only shows me cats and dogs and goats. I think that says a lot about me. I feel like the blend is turning out pretty good. Right? I'm gonna use a little bit of, I'll mix those two colors and I'm gonna use them under my eyes too. Am I doing a matte look? Am I doing a matte look? I do wish that this palette had some pastels. Or like, not pastels, but like something really light. Like a super like light beige for the inner corner. Or just something to like blend the edges here, something like really light. I'm not the person that usually likes a bone colored matte, but I feel like in this palette it actually would have like made sense. Actually, I'm gonna take that like lighter color and let's just smack that all over the lid. I'm having a good feeling about this. And then on a smaller EO5, I am gonna be just deepening up the outer corner. I think that these shades work really good. I'm just not wowed by the color story of this palette. I just feel like it's almost a little too predictable and almost a little too mid-tone. And I think that there could have been a little bit more contrast in here, or maybe like a shimmer that was like bringing something else to the table. It is, and sometimes that is good. Like it is exactly what you would expect from a chocolate themed eyeshadow palette, but maybe it needed to be something else a little bit more, because it's like, it's cute and this is cute, but like, is it exciting? I would argue no. This is what it's looking like right now. I'm actually gonna just use a little bit of this liner. This is from Colourpop. It's dark brown and it is in Brouhaha. And I am just gonna use this in the outer corner, on the lower lash line, in the waterline, and also I'm gonna take it around my inner corner. Just a little bit like this, and leave this part so it's looking like that. Is this latte makeup? Am I hitting the brief? I don't know, you tell me, but let me finish this up and we can have just a final look at it. I mean, I don't always go for like brown eyeshadow and stuff like that, but every time I put it on, I do feel pretty sexy, I can't lie. And this is a very smoldering date night or like going out. Honestly, I could go to my past office looking like this as well, but I feel like it's a very smoldering look. And also, if nothing else, like I've always said in these videos, these are not a QVC shop with me kind of a video where I show you the things to buy. I hope that this can also be like a inspirational video to shop your stash and to do similar things at home with your own makeup. So don't forget to try the tip where you put the eyeliner on the lower lash line and up around your inner corner to create this little sultry thing, and just keeping the inner part bare to keep that like more open and like lighter. So yeah, that's something to try out as well. I do like the quality of this one. I am a little bit unsure about this like body bronzer because it is a sparkly highlighter. It is a sparkly highlighter. I like the lip combo. I think it's really cute and it really looks good with like this collection and with everything. So let's go into the other one, which is, this is a highlighter palette. This is the Cookies and Cream highlighter. I'm gonna put a bit of this on. I'm actually gonna film this right after. And this palette, I have high expectations of the second palette. The first one, it's a little, the quality is nice, but it's a little basic. But let's get into the third look. Okay, so I already used a little bit of the Cookies and Cream, is that what it's called? The Cookies and Cream lip liner. And I think the lipstick is like a little lighter. Yeah, because the other one, the lip liner and the lipstick were the same shade. This feels very 2017-18 and not in a bad way. Actually kind of like it. And then let's do the gloss. And again, from swatching it, I noticed that this one, it's a peachy and it's a bit more pigmented than the other one. And this one, yeah, this one definitely smells. And when I got close, like when I get really close to this one, it does smell a little bit. But like, I have to get really, really close to smelling them. Grammar out the window. So we're gonna do this goldy one, and I did remove some of the highlighter when I like redid, but not all of it. Okay, this highlighter is smoother, like it's not as sparkly as the other one. So I think personally I prefer this goldy one, but I can already tell in this, I mean, I don't know if you can see, but in this like white one, I can definitely tell that that one has a little bit more sparkle particles as well. But this one is definitely smoother. This like goldy vanilla one is actually really pretty. Now let's get into the eyeshadows, and I thought that this was gonna be a gray and brown palette. Nay, 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 this is a blue and brown palette with a pop of a mustard, so we're doing blue. Don't argue with me. You know what I really liked about this palette, not only once I opened it, but also when I swatched it, is that there are two really, really light, like iridescent shades here. So we're gonna try and make this one what I like, which is darkness out here and lightness in the inner part. I'm gonna start with this one, the like mid-tone, almost like a grayish blue, and I am gonna start with that out here. I don't know why I thought that this was gonna be like gray. I mean, this is blue. Is this gray? This is blue, right? I feel like I'm in denial. Is this gray? I feel like this is leaning very blue, right? Like the packaging of the chocolate, the blue. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna have comments of people being like, no, that's a steel gray. But that's okay, as long as it's not like a true gray. Even when it's like taupes, you know, the ones that are a little bit more, like a little bit more leaning on the brown side. I kind of enjoy stuff like that as well. It's just a true gray. When it's just the white and the black mixed, those are the colors where I'm like, ooh. But I do like that. It's very cute. I'm gonna do a little bit of this blue under my eyes as well. I think that this is gonna be good. And then I think I'm gonna deepen up with that like really dark gray blue. We're going in blue, right? This one. Also blue. This is my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's see what happens if we try and deepen this up a little bit. Yeah, that works out really good. I'm trying to use as low as possible because I'm not 100% sure how dark I want this to be, but that layer's really beautiful. And I'm just building it a little bit on the lash line and a little bit on the outer corner perimeter. I think that we're gonna keep it something like this, and I will, where do I have my little brush? This EO4, I will buff a little bit more on the edge here to soften it, but I think overall this is where I'm ending with the mattes. Okay, so I think what I want to be doing is I'm going to be mixing these two, well, not mixing per se, but I'm going to use this one on like all of the inner part here. I kind of wish I had a pastel blue, that would have been so cute, but there's never any light mattes in Glamlite's palettes. It is what it is. But then this one, I'm just going to use a little bit on the outer part of the lid. I might actually start with that. This like darker one. I am going to spray this because like I don't want any fallout any more than like I already like manage on my, oh, that is beautiful. Like manage on my own. What a sexy midnight blue color. Are you kidding me? Just putting this in the middle of the lid. And then I like to go over the edge again with the same like dark matte color. Because I want to make sure that they are like blended and that they like make sense together. So now I'm picking up that blue iridescent shade and it does look a little, I don't want to say flaky, but I definitely want to spray it to make sure that it's showing up the way that I want it to. And I'm going to be using that on the entire inner part of the lid. And I am also going to be spreading this into the inner part of the crease. Because this is like a iridescent blue with a transparent base. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm just spreading it around a little bit in here and meeting up a little bit because it just turns into this like almost fairy dust blue experience thing. And I'm going to take a little bit on the edge as well. I'm going to spray it and we're going to put that on the lower part here and a little bit in the inner corner, but not too much. That is so pretty. And there's like no way in hell that I am not doing prance. Like it's not happening. Like it's not a thing. Everybody calm down. We're definitely doing prance. This has been my favorite eyeliner for the waterline for literally, what, 7 years? A long time. That is so stunning and not at all what I thought I was gonna get when I opened the PR box saying that it was a Hersheys Cookies and Cream palette. Because look at that. That's a very me look. I'm really enjoying this palette. Okay, let's finish this up and we can have a final chat. I'm eating my own words here. I mean, honestly, I was the only one hearing these words. But when I saw this collab being announced, I was like, oh, 2 neutral palettes. But this one is so much more. I feel like this Cookies and Cream really is such a smart take on browns and blues together. There's a pop of like almost a mustardy like beige in here. The blues are beautiful. I love that there are 2 like iridescent super light shades. And I love this look. I think it's super innovative, it's super me, it's super dramatic, and I really like the options of this palette. I think they did this one beautifully. I also do prefer this highlighter palette over the other that they call bronzer palette. I think this one is really beautiful. And overall, I think the Cookies and Cream they executed that collab better, or that collection better than the milk chocolate. But that could also be that like I am not the biggest fan of browns, because at the end of the day, I did love the look that I had with those as well. The lip products I think are really good quality. I think my absolute favorite actually is this one, the gloss from the milk chocolate, because it's like a sheer warm brown, and I love a sheer warm brown gloss. I think that's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm actually a little bit having a positive, like, not surprise, but like, Glamlite makes good products. I just didn't think I was going to be as impressed with this one as I actually am. But I am. I do think that this one is actually really, really good. And if you're eyeing this collection, if you're eyeing these things, I think that the Cookies and Cream eyeshadow palette is the best out of everything in this collection. But nothing of it is like bad quality. I just think this is the one that's bringing the most like innovation to the table. But okay, let's get into the last look, because it is a palette that I have been looking forward to for a really long time. Love Bella Beauté Bar's formula, and I'm so excited that they're finally coming out with a smaller palette. I will say, I do think it could have been an even bigger difference between these two, even though like I see that they're different. I wish there was an even bigger difference, and the same with these two. These two are a little bit too similar, and I wish that like this one would have been taken away and made to an even darker brown, and this one would have been, or like just... This is just smaller details, but it's just something that I'm saying. I will say some of these blues, you probably saw that in the swatches, they're actually pretty different once you see the swatches, but they can look a little similar in the pan. But I think the shimmers are all very different. It would have been so easy for me to do an all blue look, and it's taking everything in me to not do that. But I kind of want to try something else because I just did a blue look. So I think I'm going to start with Bikini. And I think I'm gonna deepen up with Deep Dive, and we'll start there. I'm not 100% sure, like I don't really have a plan, but I'm gonna start with this one in the crease. I'm just like pushing it in, and then I'm gonna blend on the edges, and then I'm gonna deepen up with the blue, and hopefully that will be pretty. Okay, so this is the color Deep Dive. That's a very cute I don't know what I'm doing. Send help. But I am hoping this is gonna be cute. Ooh, I do have some fallout here. We'll see how that turns out. It's not building as beautiful as some of their other mattes have, I will say. Not as effortless. Just applying a little bit more of the purple above. I do really like how that is looking though, even though I got a little bit of fallout, but I was able to brisk it away. I think it looks really cute. What do you think? Oh, wait, I'm using the wrong focus, or am I? No, I'm in focus. I'm in focus. I'm here. I'm present. Ooh, by the way, do I want to do that blue on the lower lash line without the purple? Ah, this could be cute. And then I'll do this Caribbean, which is that like turquoise. Ooh. Right? Okay, I think that is turning out really good. And I think that this is where I want to be. Let's put some shimmers on. I used a little bit of this Colourpop liner in my waterline. I will say this is not the first makeup look I'm doing today. And my eyes and my waterline is like, bitch, what are you doing? Save us. This is in Crystal Crush. If anything is looking a little bit wonky, you can see here, my eyes are watering. That's not the makeup. That is me and my eyes just not wanting to cooperate. So I'm gonna give this palette a little like shellac because of that. So there's a couple of shades in here. I really want to do this one that's called Tide Pool, that is more like a blue going to a turquoise. I feel like that will match really good. But I also really want to try this one because it is not what I usually would go for. And this also seems to be like a purple pink duochrome, but when I look from the side, it seems to be like a yellow green. But then when I see it here, it's a purple. So I thought maybe we can do that in the inner corner. So I'm gonna start with Tide Pool, and then this one, and then the other one. I just want to try as many shimmers as possible because quite honestly, these shimmers look amazing. They look like they're gonna be really incredible. I will spray them because I already have way too much fallout. So I am gonna put this one here. Ooh. Okay. That is very stunning. Oh yeah, and it even goes to a little purple. That is actually perfection. Okay, so we're doing a little blue here. Wow, that is so pretty. I mean, that would have been so pretty just, I was gonna say all over my face, but like literally all over my existence. Ugh. So this is the color Sandcastle. Oh yeah, I think this is just gonna look really pretty next to it because of the purple that we're having in our inner corners. Or like inner part of the crease, I should say. Right? I think that looks really good. I'm actually super happy with that decision. I always go for like the brightest colors, but sometimes the more muted options can bring a really nice combo. Ooh, big fan. Okay, so I put on some mascara, but now we're gonna do the Water Nymph, which is that like iridescent light shade. Ooh, that is so pretty. That is actually really cute. I don't want to do too much. Maybe I should do a little blue shimmer here just to meet up. Now that I see it, I'm just gonna spray it a little bit because I want to be super precise. And put, yeah, a little bit of the blue shimmer. I feel like it really just ties everything together. So it's like the pink, the blue. I love how that looks. I've been trying out this new Ultra Blotted Lip by Colourpop. It's not drying, but I'm kind of not appreciating how it feels. I'm going to put on some of the, again, the Colourpop Luxe Lip Oil. I've been having this in front of me because I've been using it a lot. It's like a milk chocolate. It is in Hot Shot. So I'm just going to put on a little bit of that. Big fan. That's more like it. Okay, let us zoom out and let's chat. This is the fourth and final look. And yeah, my eye is watering a little bit because my face is like, please, can we just have a calming face mask and just rest? Please and thank you. But I really do like the look and I really do like the palette. I will say I wasn't as impressed with this blue matte as I've been with some of their other darker mattes from before. So it's going to be interesting to keep using this one and see how I feel in the future. But I mean, the shimmers are the same incredible shimmers, like really high quality shimmers. But I'm not as impressed with the mattes. And I don't know if it's because the round pans are a little different. I don't know, but it's still a good palette. But am I as blown away by these mattes? Not on first impression. They're not bad. They're good mattes. But yeah, I'm gonna have to use them more and give you some final thoughts. But honestly, I think this is a really pretty palette. I'm just not, like I said, as blown away as I've been with the mattes from, for example, the Smoky Glam palette, which is just absolutely incredible. Oh my god, my eye is running again. This is a mess. So what do I think about these palettes? Which one was my favorite? That is hard. I mean, I think I like this look the most because this is like most me. And I also like, I think that this is the one that surprised me the most. The Cookies and Cream palette. I keep wanting to call it White Chocolate palette, which is not correct, but also not incredibly incorrect. But I think I was the most like surprised by this one. Honestly, I think all of these palettes are good, and I think that whatever one you would go with, if you were interested in these, I don't think you will be disappointed in the quality. Some of these, or most of these, are leaning a little bit more on the neutral side. I will say this one, the Sun and the Sea, is like it has a neutral row, or maybe a neutral row and a half, and then like some blues and purples in here. But it was kind of interesting to do one of these with like a little bit more of neutral leaning palette choices. Hopefully this video was helpful and entertaining. Please let me know which look was your favorite down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you again, I think tomorrow, for a new video. Bye!